Hey guys, welcome to PressPlay. I'm extremely excited to welcome our guest Prince from MetaShot. We're going to feature a Shark Tank featured and focused company that pitched at Shark Tank India recently. And MetaShot is building something really cool and exciting. They're building a smart bat, and also a console-like cricket game around that. So they're in a way redefining esports and competitive gaming, or I would say competitive slash hyper casual gaming in India, and with aspirations to go beyond. So welcome, Prince.
Thanks a lot, Vinit. Thank you for calling me for the podcast. Really excited to be here talking to you and sharing our journey so far. And like you rightly described, we are a mixed reality gaming company, and our product is a smart bat which connects to the game. And I think, like we always say, it's an experiential product. So it's best if we see how that works, and would just quickly show you and the audience, what the game is about.
Go for it.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool, man. Uh,
So,
where did this
so just
idea come from?
yeah. Yeah. So, just to explain the concept in a bit more before I get into the journey itself.
Sure.
So essentially, there's a smart bat which is 22 inches long, which is 10 inches shorter than your regular bat. The handle size is an adult handle size, like in a proper cricket bat. It has haptic feedback, light-based, action detection mechanism. And what it essentially does is tracks your movement in the living room and converts that into the game, and gives you a semi-realistic experience. And the key thing is that it's at a price point which is affordable to many. And we've started selling this from September 23, now almost 1.5 years of our journey. And it all began from the three of us, Ajit, Ranjit and me, founding, or rather working in a similar space back in 2019. So this was a brand called GR8 that we were working on, and this largely dealt with tennis cricket bats, जो गली cricket बोलते हैं ना, कि
Right.
these days that for every guy who plays leather ball, there are thousands who are playing gully cricket. So,
Correct.
and we used to play a lot of gully cricket, back in the days. And उस time पे हमने सोचा, what if all this patta bats, which have no branding, can we make them into a branded category?
Mm.
And we felt, our expertise in marketing, branding, and the way we communicate a story could really create an interesting brand there. So we did this company in 2019, and quickly became bestseller on Amazon, Flipkart, and had a good 1 year run where we did close to a decent revenue, so as to say. And we were peaking in the month of March. That's when pandemic hit in 2020, and that had a big impact. For 10 months the whole thing was shut. We
Yeah.
funded it, and we kept it the whole while. The company was bootstrapped. We never raised funding for GR8. It was a self-sustained kind of model. And during pandemic, when we were at home, that's when we thought कि यार cricket अगर घर से खेला जाए, and not just cricket, right? Any sport, अगर if we can give an experience which is fun, entertaining, right out of the comfort of the living room, it's not a pandemic problem alone. यानी look at our own circles, right? If we have to restart cricket, we have to jump so many hoops, right? You can't easily get into a team. Society की टीमें पहले ही बनी रहती है. It's very difficult to break into that. Your friends
Right.
are scattered. If you want a physical infra, sometimes cities don't have grounds also, right? Some of the bigger cities. So we thought, we felt that this is a bigger, interesting, case to work on. And we come from electronics background, me and my other partner,
Okay.
and and that's the whole journey, right? And we started dabbling with this idea in 2021, and it took us close to 2 years to finally come up with an output which we were happy with and wanted to test it with the users. So in August 23 is when we finally launched the product. almost 2 years of R&D, because the concept is very unique, and I'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. No, absolutely, man. Yeah. No, sounds exciting. I think it's amazing how the journey has evolved, right? When you speak about GR8 and how you started and how, the pandemic also was sort of a catalyst in figuring out, okay, now we are pushed to the wall. So we have to
yeah,
innovate to come up with the next phase. So, so yeah, as a nice segue to the technology aspect of what
yes.
you guys have built, let's double click on that and, maybe share with the listeners and viewers the tech that goes behind it without giving too much away, but, the tech that goes behind it.
Yeah, yeah. So, basically, the bat has some advanced sensors, and these sensors, without requiring a camera or an infrared, can track the movement of the bat and sends that data to the game. And on the game side, further, it's processed and meaningful shots are deducted out of the data which is sent. So basically, the sensor data detects your movement. It has accelerometer, gyrometer, gyroscope, and magnetometer, and the data from there is then used to, ascertain your shots that you have played in the living room, and converts them into virtual shots in the game. It identifies power, it identifies bat face angle, and also gives you a haptic feedback when you hit a shot. So it's basically doing all of that. And the primary device that we use here is your mobile phone or a tab, because that's where all the game is downloaded. The processing happens there, and from there we give a cable which takes it to a larger screen like TV, projector, and all that.
Got it. Got it. So you're sort of transforming a mobile experience to a CTV or connected television landscape.
Absolutely correct.
Nice.
Correct.
And people can compete. What's the gameplay like?
Yeah, yeah. So there are multiple modes. So there are some modes which are single player modes, and some interesting things like like our games are very unique. Like there's a game called Time Maker, and there the objective is not to outscore the target. The objective is to hit exactly to the same runs that is given as a target. Hence the
Ah.
word Time Maker. So,
Hmm.
just say for example, if you are on 18 runs and it's the last ball of the delivery or last ball of the match, and
Hmm.
the target is let's say 20, you cannot hit a 4. You have to find a gap in the field which lets you get 2 runs, and
Awesome.
you have to tie. So those kind of games become very interesting, because you're thinking, you're putting your mind in place, you're seeing gaps kahan pe hai, how much power should I use, I should not use excess, I should not use less, it should be exact precise power. So those kind of interesting single mode games are there, and then there are your traditional multiplayer kind of scenarios, jahan pe you can either play with a stranger,
Hmm.
where you get into the multiplayer mode and you get paired with someone and you start a game with them, or you can send a code, room code, and invite your friend to come to that room. I mean,
Ah.
come to that,
Smart.
and create a leaderboard kind of thing and play with each other. So that is the what do you say, the connected multiplayer. In the other unconnected multiplayer, what we do is offline multiplayer, as we call it. Let's say 5 friends are coming over for a party, and you
Yeah.
have one. So in that scenario, you use that bat to set up a leaderboard kind of thing. Each one gets the same set of 6 deliveries, and we
Right.
have to see who scores the most after 1 over. So that is the other offline multiplayer.
Oh,
Uh,
lovely.
yeah. So there are, you
Nice.
can play, and we are constantly launching games. I mean, we are constantly trying to provide new content, on a quarterly basis. That's the roadmap on cricket.
No, that's awesome, man. I mean, I'm thinking, what comes to mind is, my daughter is 10, my son is 5. Now, my son wants to learn cricket. My daughter is more of a tennis player, but she's also has an interest in cricket. And my son is 5, he loves watching cricket.
Uh,
For him to sort of get going at an early age without me spending a lot of money in coaching, I can get this bat, show him the basic swing so he can actually get a feel of
yeah.
what it looks like, what it feels like to
Yeah.
play with a cricket bat in his hand.
Yeah.
So there are different use cases that come to mind. What's
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
the cost? What's the cost of the bat? How much?
So the cost, yeah, the cost of the bat in India is around 6,000 rupees on our
Okay.
website.
Right,
And yeah, obviously with shipping and other things, international rates are slightly different.
right, right, right. So that is
And
what?
the use case, just to expand on the use case you mentioned. So we've
Yeah,
had testimonials from mothers where the son, for example, is a shy boy who would never step out to play, and
right.
he she got this bat as a gift for him. And what happened is he started playing at home. His hand-eye coordination became better. He became more confident, and now she's saying that he's stepping out. He's more
Wow.
confident to play downstairs with the with his peer group in the building or the society. So that
Right.
kind of you know uh, beautiful testimonials every now and then we get, and that really inspires us also to work
That's
towards improving the game and the experience overall.
No, that's awesome. Exactly. I think this has so many use cases. I love the fact that, if you have multiple people coming together, that's what happens for
Mhm.
most of us, right? If you're calling friends
Yeah,
over to
yeah,
come and chill as well,
yeah,
and we want to play, let's say, PS5 or whatever, and,
yeah.
that can get cumbersome because you tend to have two controls and
Mm.
that's it. But here
Correct.
you can have multiple people jumping in, six balls get over pretty quickly,
Yeah, exactly,
and so the
exactly.
roll up and the turnover is pretty quick. No, that's great. And you guys started 2023. uh, you've spoken about the experience. What's the market reception like, since 2023, since you guys went live?
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it's been amazing to say the least. So, the first month itself, and we talk about this even in the Shark Tank episode. The first video that we put out got almost 16 million views on Instagram and close to 60 million views on YouTube. And that was I mean, that showed the kind of interest people had for this concept, and that translated to sales as well. So we sold out our 2 months ka inventory in 10-day period because of
Wow,
the first launch itself. And from there, we had to stop selling for 10 days to further build up the inventory. And that was the kind of start we had. And post that, we've been very steady, consistent. We're growing pretty strongly in India, where now we are on Amazon, Flipkart, our own website. We are on quick commerce like Blinkit, on Swiggy, Instamart,
oh,
and on
lovely.
select offline channels. So the distribution is now slowly picking up. We are in multiple places that people can or experience the product and play and buy.
That's awesome. So, I mean, the quick commerce piece is interesting because you can basically get a bat in 10 minutes to your
Yes,
house delivered.
yes, yes.
And
So
is it
and
live?
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's live. It's live on all these platforms, and we are seeing good reception on quick commerce. Despite usually the quick commerce is associated with daily needs kind of categories, right? But we are seeing pretty good reception for the product on quick commerce. You know, at a price
Nice.
point which is close to 5,999. That kind of price point.
Awesome. And you guys are funded. I think we spoke last. You guys are funded. You want to just share some info on what the funding journey has been like, looks like, and maybe also talk a little bit about Shark Tank.
Yes, yes. So our funding journey, while we were in R&D, I mean, that's the toughest phase, right? You are not even sure ki product will launch or not launch. There are dark days where things just won't move, and you just have your partners to rely on, supporting each other, and obviously, family plays a big role. At that point, the first check for us came from our bosses. People who we have worked with, people who we knew from the past. They backed us at a stage where it was just a PPT thing, largely अच्छा ऐसा होगा वैसा होगा, and हम लोग कुछ कुछ तो बोल रहे हैं, and they are like ठीक है ले ले यार तू कर.
Yeah, yeah.
So so that is I mean, for them to trust us at that stage, showed that they saw something interesting. Obviously, they backed us more than the idea back then, but still, they saw potential in the concept. And that was the first angel check we got from multiple people who we interacted with, our bosses, like I said, their extended friends, and so on. And after that, we raised 500,000 in June 2023 from a gaming fund called Ventana Ventures, from IPV, and from a syndicate led by the founders of Dineout. So these three combined, we got a pre-seed of 500,000. This was June 23. And after that, and this was again pre-revenue, pre-sales, we started selling only in August that year. And we recently closed or announced our funding with Sauce.vc and Sharp Ventures. So that just concluded, and we also, like you said, went to the show Shark Tank India, and there we had an ask of 80 lakh, but we walked away with 1.6 crore from Vinita and Anupam. Uh,
Lovely.
and that's been our funding journey so far. And like
Nice.
we've got the right partners at the right point till
Lovely.
now.
So just for the viewers, Sharp is the Mariwala owned VC. So Mariwala is one of India's bigger and more well-known FMCG brands. And on Shark Tank, Anupam Mittal is the obviously the founder CEO of Shadi.com and the People Group, and Vinita is the sugar cosmetics
Yes.
founder. So some heavyweights that are backing the company. Fantastic. Uh, Prince, tell us. You've raised the capital. You have a product in the market. You've spoken about the technology, the traction. What's next?
Yeah, I think from here, we are always listening to the customers. There are a lot of things to improve on, work on. Giving, like I said, giving regular content on the game side is pretty important. So we are, strengthening our game team with this raise. We are working on, delivering a great product experience. And from wherever we've started, we want to take it to 10x by the end of this year in terms of the whole experience. And parallelly, obviously, the focus is on growth. While India continues to deliver well, we want to expand to international territories. We started with Middle East. We are working with a large distributor there, and we soon plan to go to US and UK as well. Some initial work on that has started. So the plan is that, where can we take this product to? I mean, it's all countries where cricket is played or the Indian diaspora is strong. Like for North American markets, although cricket is just starting, but if you look at the population of Indians in North America, it's huge, right? So that
Yeah.
becomes and we have seen a lot of inquiries come from there. Whenever we put out a video, the
Mhm.
highest number of inquiries always comes up from UAE, US, and UK. So we are looking
Wow.
at these three markets as the next, starting point for us.
Yeah, that's an interesting point because everyone is saying that. I mean, even we track the sports space and the sports tech space and what's happening with cricket with the MLC, the Major League Cricket tournament in the US, plus in the T20 World Cup, they for the first time
Yeah,
had matches in New York and Florida and
yeah,
Texas. So there's definitely a massive population of NRIs or non-resident Indians of 5 million plus now.
yes,
Uh, so I think that yeah. So the key, as you said, strengthening distribution pipelines. And if I just make a comment, and I was telling someone else this that you pretty much kill this misconception that people have in the VC community that a hardware centric product cannot raise capital. So kudos to you guys to have done that successfully. And in terms of the innovation that's coming up or the areas that you want to expand into, will you guys always look at cricket or expand out? What's the strategy?
yeah, yeah. The focus is on cricket for at least the next few quarters, but the tech stack is strong, and we feel that the same experience can be replicated on multiple games. and we are working towards that, becoming an enabler in such a way that multiple games can be played with the hardware. So hardware is just the entry point, and games will be built on top of the hardware, so that there's an ecosystem of games that are compatible to the hardware that we build. I mean, that's the direction. An interesting point on hardware, when we started off, it's always very tough to justify hardware as a business, and
Yeah.
to it best, right? So that, but we've had good predecessors who have done well, like Ultra Human, again, a hardware led company, done extremely well. So there are some good case studies, and hopefully we can continue on that good stories, whatever our predecessors have built, and can build on top of where we have reached already.
Nice, nice. And I have to ask you about the Shark Tank experience for other startups that are watching this. And obviously, you can say it in your own way. But what was it like? What was the spike like? Was there a spike first of all? In terms of demand and a lot of buzz and marketing associated with being on that show.
Yeah. No. So the experience itself was, very good. The teams there really help you deliver the best possible presentation, right? Best possible pitch. And it's a overwhelming feeling, right? When you walk into the tank, you are left to yourself. You are, speaking to these veterans, and there's limelight on you, and you are in the studio setup. So there are no retakes. It's single
Yeah,
take, and that sometimes becomes overwhelming. In fact, I had a small goof up when I was going through my part of the pitch in the beginning, and I almost, like, the problem was that I asked a question to Aman, and I was expecting a different answer, but moment he gave something which was not part of my script, it
yeah,
just
true.
became a little tricky to manage. But yeah, I mean, it was fun overall. That was the only slip up we had, but otherwise it was a great episode. We had a lot of fun, and because ours is a game or a product which is about fun, entertainment, enjoyment. The Sharks also, I believe, had good time. uh, and
Yeah.
the spike itself, we were heavily featured in all the trailers. We were heavily featured as one of the best pitches of this season type. And what has happened is we've seen some decent, I would say, jump, since our scale was already at a good level. We saw a 2x jump on our overall website traffic, on sales, all the platforms. It's not crazy like the ones from previous seasons, especially
Hmm.
because it was an OTT only release this time.
Yeah.
But we've seen a good spike. I mean, we were expecting a little more, but it's okay. I mean, it after all, it was a great platform to showcase. Awareness has gone up. We can build on top of that, and yeah, 2x jump is what we are seeing currently.
Oh, that's great. And I asked this question to the gaming esports founders that I speak with, because I'm of the opinion, and after studying various companies and startups in this ecosystem of gaming and esports, that the community aspect is extremely important
Yeah.
to think about. There's content, there's commerce, there's your creativity, and then there's your community building. So what have you guys thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually one of the most important things we always want to focus on. As of now, our outreach is limited to a lot of input feedback that we get from our customers. We keep a close group of our heavy users. We talk to them constantly. Any new build or a release is first tested by the alpha group. We know some feedbacks from, and then we take it live. So that small community, now we want to expand to a larger set, include more people, talk about product features, upcoming launches. And that, I think that's a gradual step up from here. But as of now, a close group helping us build the product, people who are very loyal, people who have played, probably scored lakhs of runs on the platform, working closely with us to improve the product, give a superior experience.
Awesome. Awesome, Prince. Like a T20 match, I think this podcast was highlighted the right areas fairly quickly. And any messages that you want to share to viewers and listeners besides having a look at MetaShot and buying the bat?
No, I think it's a obviously, without it goes without saying that MetaShot, everyone should at least give it a shot somewhere. But yeah, what I would like to say is that it's a great time to build stories out of India. There's a lot of support ecosystem available now, and even hardware. We have seen that in the last 3 years, the support that we have got now from industry, the quality of molds, small things have started improving a lot, versus when it was in 21. So I think the government initiatives to push manufacturing in India, providing that kind of support, that is helping to a large extent. And I think it's the right time to build something out of India. Very interesting things can come. And I look forward to interacting with founders who are doing some interesting stuff in this space.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Prince. Good luck to MetaShot and you and the team. Keep swinging, as they say. And we will catch up soon. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for having me, and had a great time speaking to you. Let's stay in touch. Look forward to chatting with you.
Absolutely. Cheers, buddy.
Bye. Bye.